In today's video, we're taking a quick look at the XTAR 100 watt portable solar panel, and we'll even compare it to Renogy's 200 watt Eclipse solar panel as well. After receiving the solar panel, I set it up real quick and then went through some of the accessories that they included in the box, like the extension cable. The original is almost 10 feet long. This adds almost another 10 feet, plus a Y adapter so I can hook up 2 solar panels at once, and then also a few other DC connectors so you can hook up power stations and more, and also one that has MC4 connectors, and then this DC to DC charger which you can plug in devices and charge directly from the panel. And be sure to check out the discount code in the description below for all kinds of great deals. This 100 watt solar panel comes in at 4.4 kilograms, making it just under 10 pounds, keeping it super light. It also utilizes sun power solar cells, which are up to 23% efficient, which are some of the best in the business. When it comes to its specifications, you can see the working voltage is just over 17.5 volts and about 6.25 amps, which we're going to check that in a little bit. The solar panel also has these ring washers on it so you can hang it up in several locations, not to mention these magnets. That way when you're closing up the device, it stays closed and is great for storage. Setting up the solar panel is super easy because it is so small and lightweight that anybody can do it. You simply open it up, place it onto the ground, and then in the back you just pull out both of the integrated kickstands and then angle it into the sun. And since both of the kickstands can be easily deployed, it makes it super quick and simple to set up and get the direct sunlight, or just lay it down flat on the ground if the sun is overhead. The pouch in the back is where you will find your power cable, and this is actually big enough so where you can actually store your extension cable, and not to mention all the other types of connectors you need. Now when it comes to these two solar panels, the XTAR is about $260 versus the Renogy. This is about $550, and that's before tax. And you can see just how big it is. It comes in at almost 50 pounds. It puts out roughly 200 watts at about, 11 amps. This one puts out 100 watts at about 6.25 amps, so we're going to see that here in a minute. But also, not to mention, look how big that is when it comes to storing it, versus this one. 2 of these hardly take up any room. Now I decided to pull out my old light meter, and this is really a simple tool to use. You just basically point it at the sun, get the highest numbers you can, and that's really about it. So we'll use that here in a minute. Okay, so I put both of the panels out in the sun about 25 minutes ago. That way they'll kind of get heat soaked, because a really hot panel will actually produce less power than a panel that's just been placed out there like maybe 5 minutes ago. So this kind of gives us a little bit real world info. Now I got both of the panels, well at least one so far, hooked up to the power meter right here. This is kind of giving us a rough idea how many volts on an open circuit test. You can see about 22.2 volts, and the meter above is pretty much showing the same thing, pretty close. And it's always good to use a couple meters, that way we have a little room for variance, because there always is. And as we take a look now, I have this hooked up to basically the PowerWorks meter, the extension that goes to the EcoFlow power station. We'll kind of see what it looks like there. So right now the power station is getting about 96 watts, and as we compare that to the meter, we're right about 98 watts. So that's pretty good, because you do lose a little bit with some connections. And now we'll go ahead and actually angle this a little bit better, and there's not really a science to this. You just get it close. If you're off by 25 to 50, it's not going to change it that much. So we'll just get it close, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at the meter again here real quick. And as we look at the meter again, you can take a look at right at 101 watts, 17.5, 17.7 volts, which this is really good. It's very rare that you get spec out of a panel out of some stuff, because normally it would be like, 95, 98 watts at best. But even on the power station, right at 98, 99. So this is pretty darn good, pretty impressed. So right now we'll do the Renogy, and I'm just going to hook it up exactly how you would. We're not going to use a controller because obviously the power station has one. As we take a look at the meter real quick, about 170 watts, 17.1 volts, and almost 10 amps. Now I can never really seem to get much more out of this. This is usually about the best I get, 175 watts or so. The volts are usually pretty good. Amps are just a pinch low, but for the most part, I mean, this panel performs pretty well, but I can never get the most out of it, versus if I had 2 of those other ones. I mean, look at this, 170 watts. I'd have 200 watts out of the other one at, 12 amps. So this other little device here, the DC charger, this is kind of pretty cool. You just plug it right in, turn on the little on button, and then you can plug in things like, a little GoPro, maybe a little inspection camera if you want. And then you can also plug in a couple more items, because it has 4 ports total, and you can toggle between each one of the switches. It'll also show you like a little bit of information as far as the volts, and also how many amps that each channel is using. And you basically just press this little button and you can toggle between each channel. So you can see 5 volts on that channel. It's only using 0.1 amps because for the most part, both of these items are charged. So you're not going to get a whole lot out of it. As I toggle to the next one, this one doesn't really have anything because that's the third port. And you can see that the top one has 3 amps. The other ones are 2.4 amps. And the bottom one, the USB-C connector, that one can do up to about 45 watts. So that's pretty cool. Nice little box. I also decided to hook the solar panel up to my travel trailer real quick, and I'm using the extension that I got, as well as also the MC4 connectors that also goes into another adapter into that Furrion kind of ready plug that a lot of travel trailers have. And this goes over directly to my solar charge controller, and this is one of the MPPT solar charge controllers, so they're really efficient. And it isn't one of the best models, but you can see even the numbers look great at 17 volts, 7 amps, and I'm getting 93 watts out of it, which this is great. So I mean, for a solar panel of this size to put out these numbers, this is pretty impressive as opposed to that Renogy one. I mean, that thing is a lot heavier and a lot bulkier, and it takes a lot more time to set up than, I mean, look at that little guy. You put it out there, you set it up, and you're pretty much done. And even though I have the extensions on it, I'm still getting good performance numbers out of it with 17 volts and still getting just about 7 amps. And no, like I said, if I click the little button here, I'm getting 93 watts out of it. That's great. So now if I was running 2 of these panels, I wouldn't run the extension cable. I'd make my own with some MC4 connectors, but I would use a Y adapter, and then I just go straight into the little Furrion plug that I have there, and then into the solar charge controller. So this is a good thing to have to complement solar that might already be on your travel trailer. So what do you guys think? I mean, when it comes to that Renogy panel, it's a good panel, but you know, for the weight and the size and the space that it takes up, and not to mention the cost, I can get 2 of those guys over there and save a ton of weight and space, and anybody can set it up. So for the most part, I hope you guys like this quick video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and until then, I hope to see you guys next time.